Good morning. I'm Mahogany Mignon. Welcome to KBCH Breaking News. This morning, we mourn the loss of the greatest boxer of all times, Muhammad Ali. Crowds gathered at the Hollywood Walk of Fame star of former heavyweight champion Muhammad Ali on Saturday, one day after his death in Phoenix at the age of 74. At an afternoon ceremony, flowers were placed next to his star, which is mounted on an exterior wall of the Dolby Theater. Ali's star is the only one out of almost 2,600 stars placed on a vertical surface above ground. Ali received the star in 2002 for live theater in recognition of his famous and flair and poetry that boosted the popularity of boxing. During his acceptance speech at the Walk of Fame ceremony, Ali said, "I don't want my name on the ground and people walking on my name." The special request to mount the star vertically was granted by chairman of the Walk of Fame Selection Committee, after Ali explained that he did not want people to walk on his name. The star is placed in the same area as the Prophet Muhammad. We now go to Aaron Spurlock, shares yet another tragedy, the death of Kimbo Slice.
Kevin Ferguson, better known as Kimbo Slice, died last week from congestive heart failure after being admitted to a hospital near his home in Coral Springs, Florida. Ferguson, who got his start in mixed martial arts, began his career in 2005 and also went on to become an undefeated boxer and actor. The 42-year-old MMA fighter is survived by his 6 children and his fiancée. We here at KBCH send his family our sincerest condolences at this time. For KBCH News, I'm Aaron Spurlock, and back to Mahogany in the studio.
Thank you, Aaron. Have you ever considered the amount of day-to-day murders the Los Angeles Police Department witnessed? A new film documentary on the festival circuit took an unflinching look at what it's like to live in South Los Angeles. The filmmakers behind South Bureau Homicide were granted access to murder scenes and gained interviews with the detectives who investigate them. According to the film's co-director Mike Cooley, you witnessed a lot of pain in a very intimate way. The filming took place at real murder scenes where real people lost their lives. During the filming, co-director Mike Cooley explained, "You see how the officers have to set aside the pain and get right to their investigation." The film also talks to community activists and those who lost loved ones to gang violence in the community. The filmmakers are currently looking into various distribution options for their independent documentary. Stay tuned for a word from our sponsors. Coming up, a Los Angeles high school rejects a new metal detector policy.
What's more refreshing than having a cold Mountain Dew on a hot summer day? We all know in the summer, sometimes we have so much fun that we forget to stay hydrated while out in the heat. Start today by taking care of your thirst. Why not? Mountain Dew have an awesome taste that I'm sure you're gonna love. Plus, there's nothing like it, trust me. I promise you're gonna love it.
Thanks for watching. Faculty at Anemo Jackie Robinson High School isn't pleased with their new regulation. Will frisking high school students with a metal detector threaten the pupil-teacher relationship? Well, according to Principal Christine Botello at Anemo Jackie Robinson High School, the box of metal detectors that she received included a new mandate requiring random daily searches of its students. The charter school and its parent organization, Green Dot Public Schools, have refused to comply with the requirements, arguing that random searches will undermine the safety that comes from strong pupil-educator relationships. We had a chance to catch up with Botello, and here's what she said. "We live and work in a community where kids are profiled every day by different forms of authority. Unless we come up with a better policy, to simply abandon a safety measure is not the kind of situation I want to defend the district on." We now go to Sean Bobo, who will share the latest from the California Coastal Commission.
Good morning, I'm Sean Bobo, and on Friday, the California Coastal Commission threatened legal action to Forest Palos Verdes estates to improve public access at Lanada Bay, the site of one of the state's best surf breaks, as well as home to a group of aggressively territorial surfers known as the Bay Boys, who aim to keep outsiders out. The agency said it could consider all options to remedy the situation, including financial penalties or a lawsuit against the city. The steps suggested include improvements to trails, signage, benches, and viewing binoculars. But in the city's most recent response, it only promised beach cleanup. The city has until July 6th to submit a proposal to improve the public access, or a plan to either dismantle or obtain the necessary permits for a stone structure used by members of the Bay Boy gang. Hopefully everything is resolved and the public gets to enjoy this beach like they should. I'm Sean Bobo reporting for KBCH News. Back to you in the studio.
Thank you, Sean. The families who lost their loved one to the Grim Sleeper finally gets the justice deserved. Here's Aaron Spurlock with all the details.
A month after the conviction of 63-year-old Lonnie Franklin Jr., a jury has recommended the death sentence. Franklin, known for the Grim Sleeper serial killings, was found guilty on 10 counts of murder and 1 count of attempted murder of 9 women and a 15-year-old girl, spanning more than 2 decades. The jury, which comprised of 7 women and 5 men, deliberated for 8 hours before returning the penalty verdict, according to a news release from the Los Angeles District Attorney's Office. For KBCH News, I'm Aaron Spurlock, and back to Mahogany in the studio.
Thank you, Aaron. Stay tuned for a message from our sponsors.
It's sports, where you can find everything sports. We got hats, bases, goals, that black stuff players put under their eyes. We got that. We got everything sports. We got balls, big balls, little balls, lady balls, all the balls for sports. Do you like sports and like to show that you like sports? We got sports t-shirts, jerseys for fans. We got body paint, thunder sticks, raffle tickets, cause we got all your sports. Underground sports, pet sports, backyards and biblical sports, baby sports, back alley sports, sports of life and death. Come on down to sports, the one shop for all the sports.
What's more refreshing than having a cold Mountain Dew on a hot summer day? We all know in the summer, sometimes we have so much fun that we forget to stay hydrated while out in the heat. Start today by taking care of your thirst. Why not? Mountain Dew have an awesome taste that I'm sure you're gonna love. Plus, there's nothing like it, trust me. I promise you're gonna love it.
Welcome back. Californians with terminal illnesses now have the right to die on their own terms. Let's learn more about the new law from Sean Bobo.
Good morning. On Thursday, California's right to die law went into effect, which allows terminally ill patients the right to choose to end their own lives. Terminally ill patients with a prognosis of 6 months or less to live can obtain a prescription of a lethal dose of medication. The law requires 2 doctors to sign off on the patient's prognosis and mandates that the patient make a written request and 2 oral requests for the lethal medication, at least 15 days apart. The patient must also be deemed mentally competent and capable of making decisions about their own health. This law was passed and signed into law about a year ago by Governor Jerry Brown in the wake of a 29-year-old Brittany Maynard, who was a California resident who gained national attention for her decision to move to Oregon to seek care under that state's right to die law. Some religious groups have been outraged, but religious hospitals do have the option to opt out. Many believe this will only make things easier for people who are suffering and looking for a quiet way out on their own terms. I'm Sean Bobo for KBCH News. Back to you in the studio.
Thanks, Sean. A Southern California boy was killed and his mother was hospitalized when a truck racing in the Baja 500 drove off the course in downtown Ensenada. The crash occurred just after 10:30 a.m. at a spot in the famous off-roading course. The child has been identified as an 8-year-old boy and his mother as a 28-year-old American woman suffering a broken leg. The news report said the victims were standing outside of the restricted area for spectators. Bloggers covering the event also reported that the victim in the crash were standing in an unsafe area. The site reported that because vehicles can easily reach speeds of over 100 miles per hour, spectators are advised to stay at least 100 feet from the course at all times. The site states that adults who are responsible for their behavior should always accompany children under the age of 16 and infants. At no time should adults allow children to play within 100 feet of the race course. Things have been shaking up a bit in California. Here's Aaron Spurlock with an update on California earthquakes.
A shallow depth 5.2 magnitude earthquake struck just after 1 a.m. on the San Jacinto fault line near the borders of Riverside and San Diego counties. According to the U.S. Geological Survey, the quake was felt across much of Southern California as well as parts of northern Mexico. Dozens of aftershocks were felt after the initial quake, with several registering at a magnitude 3.0 or higher. With people who are concerned with the big one, seismologist Dr. Lucy Jones reported on her Twitter feed this statement in hopes of putting people's fears at ease, as well as informing everyone that the San Jacinto fault line is historically the most active in Southern California. For KBCH News, I'm Aaron Spurlock, and back to Mahogany in the studios.
Thanks, Aaron. After these messages, we have the latest on an international tradition of abuse.
My friend Val says she'll never drink Coca-Cola, but just wait and see till I switch her Pepsi with my Coke.
Hey, cool. Chips, can I have some?
No, maybe one, but that's it. Go away. Whoa, this is really good.
You're welcome.
A World Series win for the San Francisco Giants.
Congratulations to the San Francisco Giants on their World Series win. ShopMLB.com now has all your World Series gear, from hats and jackets to shirts and sweaters, even DVDs, Blu-rays, and replica World Series rings. ShopMLB.com has all your Giants needs. ShopMLB.com. We got game. Do you?
Welcome back. How far are parents really willing to go in order to preserve their little girl's virginity? Well, according to the United Nations, there are approximately 125 million women and girls who have been mutilated in Africa and the Middle East. Female genital mutilation is the illegal practice of partially or totally removing the external genitalia of girls and young women for non-medical reasons. It can cause bleeding, infection, infertility, or even death. This deadly procedure is used to limit the sexuality of the female, painfully stripping away their femininity and their ability to feel whole as a woman. Here's a close-up of a young face screaming in terror during an FGM procedure. You can see the before and after images show a dramatic change in the genitals as a result of the procedure. Stay tuned for updates on this trending tradition of abuse. Just what is the White House up to these days? Well, according to A-list actress Kerry Washington and a select group of actors and directors and writers, the Obama administration sent a script demanding that all actors support the I Am an Immigrant movement. Take a look at this picture we spotted of the actress sporting the message on her t-shirt. It's been reported that the email sent from the Obama administration specifically states, "We are a nation of immigrants, the child or grandchild of immigrants," or "You stand with immigrants." The email continues, "Will you send it using your social media account? And let us know when you do so we can continue to amplify your voice in the message." In addition to the script, the email included a video urging the stars to join the I Am an Immigrant movement. Stay tuned for the latest on the movement. Apparently fairy tales do come true for little girls. Here's Sean Bobo with more on a judge who dresses up as Snow White for an adoption.
I'm Sean Bobo, and do I have a story that's just gonna hit you in the feels. One little girl's adoption hearing was a magical Disney surprise. Sarah and Jim Knowing had been the foster parents to a girl named Danielle since March 2014 until now, when they officially adopted the 5-year-old girl. The magic began at the hearing after the judge brought up Danielle's love for Disney princesses and then removed her robe to reveal she had dressed up as Snow White for the hearing. A few other guests joined the courtroom, and that's when Ariel, Cinderella, Elsa, and more walked out to her surprise. The idea started when Danielle's caseworker asked to dress up as Cinderella for the hearing, and once the office heard, everybody wanted to join in on all the joy and fun. Danielle's face lit up at the sight of all the princesses and the one prince. They took this photo, and Samaritas, a social service organization, created a video and shared it to Facebook with this perfect caption: "Ona means family, and family means nobody is left behind." I'm Sean Bobo for KBCH News. Back to you in the studio.
Thank you, Sean. That's all today for our breaking news. Join us in 2 weeks for our music video edition. I'm Mahogany Mignon reporting live on KBCH.